Hello friends, and welcome back to the Gamer Down and Rift Newb Adventures, episode 17. Could this be the end for our young adventurer? Only time will tell. It has been a long haul to 50. It took, my game time says like 260 hours. But I'd say like 230 of it were generally, questing and leveling, and the other 30 were just screwing around. But that's still quite a long time, over a month. I started in Head Start, and today is the 31st of March, so that's almost been a month and a half almost. So, wow, how time flies, and 17 Rift Newb Adventures as well. And I want to thank those of you who've stuck with me for all 17 of these episodes, and really I just don't know where to go from here. I'm max level now, and I'm still a noob. I'll always be a noob. And they've recently released a patch that has completely destroyed my character, honestly. I mean, my character now is fairly useless, almost. I mean, I would have to re-level a character to probably enjoy this game again. My warrior is just screwed. He's screwed royal. All of the fights, all of the dungeons have AoE damage, and I'm a melee fighter, so my only choice is to tank. And I've tanked in WoW for years, and I just really don't feel like tanking anymore. And, it doesn't give me much choice. Rift was supposed to be this game that gave you such a broad spectrum of choice. You could be a warrior, but you didn't have to be a tank. But now you do. Times are already changing for this game, and you're getting pigeonholed. I do plan on covering the event that's going on right now, the World War invasion, and I'd released a special the other day, and came with a lot of negative response, and I don't read comments. I do not read the YouTube comments. I have cancer. I'm not going to upset myself over some 13-year-old crying over something I said over in a video. That's just not going to happen. I don't read my comments, and I read my mail, but if it's hate mail, it's deleted instantaneously. So just keep that in mind. I do get nice letters. I've get some really nice letters, and people that really appreciated this series, and I appreciate them, and I thank them, so much from the bottom of my heart for sticking with me and subscribing. I mean, that was really really hurtful, to see so many thumbs down on my special that I did the other day. It took me all day to do that video, hours. I mean, literally, just hours and hours, for you guys, for free. I don't get paid. It's to inform you about the game and entertain you as well. Anyway, thank you to those who do support me and thumbs up videos for me and subscribe. I really, honestly, completely appreciate you more than anything. And those who, don't appreciate my work, really, you can just go to hell. I don't care. I'm not listening to your comments. And really, you can just take a hike, man. I know a lot of it has to do with my, perception of Rift. And, while I find Rift to be a pretty cool game, and I would recommend Rift to a friend, but I would let them know, that there's it's not all candy and roses. This game has a lot of downsides to it, and it has a lot of upsides, and you'll keep yourself entertained for quite a while with it. But people like me who've did so many MMOs in their life, it's just the same thing to us. There's just nothing new to us, and it's just take your pick of which MMO you want to grind. And at 50th level now, really all my Rift Newb Adventures could be is me grinding out dailies, and maybe show you a couple of raid encounters or something, you know. And I probably will do that. I probably will show a couple of raids and things like that. And like I said, I've already got a lot of coverage of the event that's going on right now, and they're releasing that in phases. So you have to. I'll show you each phase as they release it, and you know what's going on. But really, even like the event itself, you know, it's just kind of a slap in the face to the subscribers. Really, there's only 3 rewards. They're cosmetics, and the amount that you can get is only a temporary one. You can't keep it forever. So there's nothing really to go for anymore. And another thing about Rift too, you know, is the community. I mean, I've come across so many dickholes in this damn game, you know, that I don't even know where to really begin. You know, I mean, it's just a poisonous community. I mean, everywhere you look, man, it's just prepubescent teens, you know, bantering about bullshit and jumping on everybody's case immediately. And yeah, I mean, God, I would say it's worse than WoW. I mean, to be honest, I would say that the community of Rift is way worse than WoW, and it's going in a very bad direction already. I'll just give an example of something that happened today. All right. I was doing the puzzle in Stillmore. You know, it was very early in the morning. There was nobody around. And I had just about completed the damn puzzle. And 2 people come up, and they just completely screw the whole puzzle up for me. You know, they went and closed all the cages on purpose so I couldn't continue the puzzle, you know. And they weren't even there to do the puzzle. They just came around just to mess me up. And then I'll be damned, I went back a little bit later, and the enemy faction, somebody from the enemy faction was there, and they're like, you know, flagged. They're like, yeah, bring it on, man. And I'm just like, dude, go roll on a PvP server, you know, seriously. You know, I would like to put a positive spin on the entire situation, you know, but there's just really not much positive spin to put on this thing. You know, I would like to stay positive, and you know, I have had some good times in Rift. It's just, you know, there have been very few and far between, and I've had some times in this game, you know, mainly encounters with other people, where it's just like, hey, you know, if I could jump through my monitor and strangle somebody, I would. But thankfully, I can't do that. And like I've mentioned before, you know, I've played pretty much every single MMO, you know, that's come out. You know, I've just started this channel. That's why I don't have every MMO up. I mean, I could do that. I could go back and record some footage, but you know, that's old stuff. That's old stuff. I'm looking to the future. I'm looking towards, you know, the new games, and looking at Star Wars: The Old Republic. I cannot wait until that comes out. That is going to be an awesome game. I've had the sneak preview of it already, and oh wow. And yeah, I have some beta footage. I do, but I can't release it. It's just unfortunate. NDA. And when I'm allowed to release it, though, you're going to get to see it. So unfortunately, Star Wars: The Old Republic does have a very, very strict non-disclosure policy. So all you can say is that you're in the beta. And that's it. You can't say anything else. So I guess I'll leave it at that. But anyway, about Rift here. You know, I'm going to continue playing for a while. You know, I'm going to see if things, you know, improve for me. If I start to like things better. I just have not liked what's been going on with Treon and what they've been doing to the game already. They've instituted these gigantic increases in these grinds. You know, they've increased the plaques needed for the T2 gear. And, you know, people are like, you know, that's just to fill holes, and, you know, you're getting bad drops and stuff, you know, but, you know, people want, you know, to at least accomplish things in a reasonable amount of time, and the amount of plaques needed now is not reasonable at all. I mean, maybe if you're a hardcore player and play constantly, then it would be worth it, maybe. But otherwise, I mean, it's not worth it to really at all. You know, your first raid, you'll probably get better gear. So people are just completely bypassing T2s and the grind for that. I don't know, it's just, you know, really upsetting to see what they've done to all the grinds in this game. You know, when you hit 50, you can grind PvP, you can grind reputation, you know, or you can join a raiding guild and do that one raid, the green skill. That's it. You know, there's just, you know, you can raid expert rifts as well. You can do that too. It's just, you know, it's not a lot of variety, you know, and a lot of grinding. And that's not even mentioning, you know, just grinding to get to 50, you know. I mean, there was several points where I had to just completely grind out of the level. I had run out of quests. And, I thought that I was going to have to take all that back about there not being enough quests. But it turned out I was right after all. You know, I had accidentally skipped the Droughtlands, and I'd accidentally skipped Shimmer Sand. And I'd went back and found this gigantic horde of quests that I did. And I'd knocked out about 4 or 5 levels. And I'd milked out every quest in that zone. And so I went back to, you know, the other higher level zones, and I knocked out the rest of the levels up to about 48.5. And from 48.5, I had nothing. No quests at all. I went to every single zone, even turned on low-level quests, you know, so they would show up. And there was nothing left for me. There was not one quest left for me to do. So I basically had to grind out 1.5 levels. And that was not very fun at all. So is this the end for our young adventurer? Not just yet, not just yet. I'm going to stay with Rift a while longer. This might be the end for Rift Newb Adventures, though. You know, I think that it's probably about run its course, and I've hit 50. So, you know, maybe I'll show some expert dungeons, and I would like to show something funny, you know. I mean, this series has just been such a downer for some reason, you know. I mean, usually I'm a lot funnier than this. It's just, God, I don't know. Something happened to this series, and it just kind of became a little bit of a depression. I don't know. Either way, I think it's time to take it to the next level, you know. Get this series back on an upbeat note, you know. And start off with something fresh, you know. Have a bunch of specials, or have, you know, like I said, maybe the expert dungeons and maybe some raids. Let's show some of that stuff, you know, some more positive things than all the bad things I seem to show all the time. But like I said, I just, you know, just keep encountering these things, and I don't want to lie to you. I have to be honest about my feelings and how I'm feeling about this game. You know, I don't want to lie to you. You know, that's I'm not a liar, and that's not my bag. So I'm going to end this episode, and with that, this is your host, Dark Hostess, for the Gamer Down, and this has been Rift Newb Adventures, episode 17, and possibly the last Rift Newb Adventures, but not the last Rift show, okay? There's going to be more Rift stuff, so, you know, don't worry about that stuff. It's going to be better. I'm going to show some really cool things, I think.